The Roorkhee chair, an iconic piece of campaign furniture from the late 19th century into the 20th century, and also a design classic which inspired many 20th century designers. And the great thing about it from a campaign point of view is that, as you can see, it breaks down into a bag of sticks. Now, to set it up, you typically, if you don't know what you're doing, need 2 or 3 pairs of hands, just so you can juggle all of the different sections and bars as you try and keep them all together. Hopefully that's going to go a little bit easier for me, but let's set it up and show you exactly what a Roorkhee chair looks like. So there you are, the Roorkhee chair. Out of an easily carried bag of sticks, we've got quite a nice, low but very comfortable chair so that we can relax at the end of the day in our camp. Now, this Roorkhee chair is a little bit different to many that you see, and I'll just talk you through those points, and I'll also talk you slowly about the method of putting it together, because obviously with the fast motion picture I can't explain what's going on. So what's different about this chair? Well, first of all, you can see that it's got the extra headrest here. Now, most Roorkhee chairs don't have that. You can use it without, and these just simply pop down like that. They have a metal bar to the back to stop them pushing too far when you are using them. But most Roorkhee chairs look like this. This example is a colonial one. It's probably Anglo-Indian, made of teak. Slightly different to others in that the seat goes from side to side rather than from back to front, and the reason that we know that it goes from side to side is because these bars are higher here, so it gives us a little bit of a higher seat than the front bars. What's also different about it and makes it much easier for setting up, and I might need to just pick this up and come to the camera with it, is that most Roorkhees have got a round section which goes into a round section. This, as you can see, the end of the round bar is actually square and it fits into a square section. Now, this is quite important because what it means is that when you're setting it up, this square section, once in place, is not going to turn and pop out while you're setting up another section. A lot of the early 20th century Roorkhees have a conical end here which go in. Sometimes they have a cutout of a conical section just to fit in the section coming from the other side and just to help lock it, but typically it makes it much harder to set the chair up. The converse side of that is that when it is set up, there is a little bit more movement in the frame of the chair. And if you're using this outside and you were, say, sat on uneven ground, then when you sit on it, the fact that you've got a little bit of movement to the chair means that it'll find its own position on an uneven surface, and you'll be able to use it much better. So the fact that this chair has got square sections makes it a little bit more stable and certainly far easier to set it up. Now, the way I set up most Roorkhees, and you do get individual quirks to some, is to set up one side at a time. So you identify your back posts and your front arm posts and get them into position. Identify your side rail, join the two together, then put on your leather arm strap, put it through its fitting, and that will hold it together. Now when you've got the two sides, you can add the front and the back bars. Then when you've done that, you can put on the back. A common mistake when setting up the Roorkhee is most of these back bars which tip are longer to the top section than to the bottom section, and typically because they're loose, to give you a flexibility to adjust it for the sitter, the top section will naturally drop down. So it's very easy to put the top section of a canvas to the bottom section of the bar. So always make sure that the longer section is to the top, then you'll find it much easier. And also having this back with this belt strap pulls it together a little bit, makes it that much tighter. Now a lot of Roorkhees also, especially the ones which don't have these square joints, will have leather straps. Sometimes they are actually fixed to the leg posts and they're a belt strap and they'll join in the middle. Sometimes it's just a loop and it'll go round the bars and just pull it together. And pulling it together just makes the construction that much stronger once it's all set up. Now, it's believed that the Roorkhee was invented by British Army engineers whilst in India and of course stationed at Roorkhee. That's where it gets its name from. But this was at the end of the 19th century and campaign furniture had taken on a far more utilitarian feel to it. So a design which was born out of necessity, their first consideration was not the aesthetic of a chair, actually produced a very simple design which, as I said previously, became an iconic piece of campaign furniture, and also a design which was much copied by Scandinavian and other 20th century designers. In fact, it's still being made today. It's still got a great relevance today. So the Wasserley chair by Brewer was made, the Corbusier made a chair, Kerr Klimt made the Safari chair, and these are all basically inspired or almost direct copies of the British Army engineers' Roorkhee chair. Range Rover cars, even in the late 20th century, were giving away Roorkhee chairs with some of their vehicles, probably to their better customers. The modern makers of campaign furniture who are making Roorkhees today. And of course, Christopher Schwartz has, in his book on making campaign furniture, pushes the Roorkhee chair quite heavily. It's a classic piece for woodworkers to make, and I would imagine very satisfying when you make it and get it right. So it's a chair which has really borne the test of time, and something which was supposed to be purely utilitarian has really become, well, there's only one word for it and I've used it twice already: iconic. It's an iconic chair. You get different versions. A lot of the ones, I mentioned the ones which have got conical bars in them. Typically they have a pointed foot, so that they can find their place on uneven ground a little bit easier. You get Roorkhee chairs which have got a much higher seat. You've got some which have got a turned foot or a little bun foot to them. You see some which are in a leather, some have original leather, some replaced leather. We've replaced this in black canvas and replaced the leather arm straps. Typically canvas, of course, over time rots, and so it's quite natural to replace it. We've also seen Roorkhee chairs with Killamore carpet. They look fantastic. Zebra skin. I think I've even remember seeing one which was made out of snake skin. And of course, if you want to buy an antique one now, just have a really good look at it, because as I said, they're still being made today. There's still modern ones out there. If you're looking for an old one rather than a new one, then really have a good look at it, and make sure you know that you are getting what you hope. So there you go, the Roorkhee chair. This one is going to be early 1900s in date, made of teak, probably Anglo-Indian, and a very comfortable chair. You can see it on our website.